Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Days Gone running on the AMD Ryzen 5 5560U. Now we've taken a look at this game running on the 5500U. This time around on the 5560U, we are dealing with a weaker GPU. We do have a better CPU, but in a game like this, that improvement in CPU doesn't really do much. We are mostly just GPU limited. So unfortunately, the only way to really get a good consistent FPS is to run the game at 50% render resolution, so we are running the game at essentially 540p. But running at that resolution with the lowest in-game graphics settings does actually net us some pretty decent levels of performance, though visually the game looks really rough. I could completely understand if you just do not want to play the game like this because the quality settings look pretty bad in a lot of situations. You can get away with turning up the texture quality a bit, but just look at how much RAM is being used up already. And the last thing you want to do is turn up the textures to such a quality that you actually end up using up all your system RAM and you start to introduce problems in the 1% lows. But still, in general, it is a decent level of performance that we're getting here, especially considering we are on the cut down GPU here. And if you look at the CPU usage here, this means that if you're playing this on a Ryzen 3 instead, but the Ryzen 3s that also have the Radeon 6, then you're going to be able to have a good time as well. You're going to be able to run at these exact settings, but again, visually speaking, it's really rough. Specifically in cutscene, characters really just go potato mode and it looks like I'm playing a PSP game. So mess around with the texture settings to try to improve this a bit, but just know that you're not really going to be able to get too much out of this unless you're on a system with 32 gigabytes of RAM, and in which case I'm pretty sure you can get away with going up to Ultra, but it really just depends. I'll have to try that out at some point if I can get together some money to actually pick up some 32 gigabyte SODIMM RAM kits and just see how they do in these systems, if there's actually any improvements whatsoever in modern titles. But just in general, know that this is about as good as it's going to get here for this game. If you're willing to sacrifice the performance and just have a rock solid 30 FPS gaming experience, you can turn things up slightly to improve the visual quality and just play the game entirely at a locked 30. Certainly not a bad move. But anyways, I hope you found this interesting and useful. If you did, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.